Hello, and welcome to my mobile journey. I'm coming to you today to address a question that a lot of people ask me about. Um, it doesn't matter if I just meet someone or if I'm on an appointment. I have a lot of people that will stop me and ask me, how did you get started doing what you're doing? And how do I get started? So I'm going to address that because I can't tell you how many times that I have had to answer that question for folks. So maybe if I make a video and say, you know what? Why don't you go to my mobile journey and I will tell you everything there. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to tell you. So back in 2019, when the C word hit and people got stuck in their homes, they couldn't come out because there were so many things preventing them from coming out. What I'm doing became very popular. But I'm going to tell you, how did I discover it? I discovered it one day because I, like a lot of folks, during that time, since you couldn't go out like you needed to go out, I would get on to YouTube University. And I found these people on there that were stating, you could become a mobile notary and make $100 an hour. And I was like, you know, that is amazing if it's true. And so I started saying, well, let me check it out. Well, back then there was not a lot of people like it is. It's kind of a little saturated a little bit, that are on and tell you the ins and outs about becoming a mobile notary. I kind of like, okay, so I see a challenge, let me take it. So I went and I researched the steps to becoming a notary, number one. And those steps were, you'll need to contact the Secretary of State's office. You can go online and do this. And then you go to how to become a notary. And once you go there, it will point you to instructions. It will give you an application for you to download and print out, and then you will fill it out. And then once you fill it out, you would send a check with it for $25 is what I had to send to the Secretary of the State. They will do a background check on you. Once that background check is completed, they will mail back to you your commission. They will give you a certificate on letter sides, and then they will also give you a pocket card with your notary information so you can carry it with you. And then after that, you can go onto the National Notary Association. If you just type that into your search bar, it will bring it up. And on there, you will choose what state you wish to hold your commission in. Now, one thing most people don't realize is that you can have commissions in more than one state, and that's how you make more money or you increase your business. That decision will be up to you, how ambitious you are or you want to be. And then once you do that, you will go and they will give you ways for you to get training. You want to have training to do this particular business. There is a fine line between ambition and foolishness, because the documents that you will have access to are legal documents. So if they're legal documents, then it's a high possibility that if you don't treat those documents right, that you can end up in a courtroom. So you want to have the proper knowledge that you need to make sure that these documents are handled in the correct way, they are executed properly, and they are held in confidential, um, between you and the parties involved. And so When you go on there, they will give you training. The training will teach you how to operate as a mobile notary, the steps of making sure you get things right, because the thing they're teaching you, like I said, is legal concept, legal principles. There are laws governing the notary um, business, and so you have to know those laws and know how to execute properly to stay in business. And so once you go through the tutorial, it will give you an assessment, a test, and the test, I know a lot of people don't like that word because I have a friend and she just like freaks out if she hears tests. But you can take it as many times as you want till you get it right. So that kind of make you feel like I can do this, okay? So if you don't pass it the first time, just chill out, come back, pass it again. Record in your mind the ones you got right. Go through the scenarios that you didn't get right, and then do it again and get them all right. It's that simple. And then once you finish that, you are eligible to sign up for platforms. Now on the platforms, it's like temp services. Pardon me. Let me get something to drink. I'm sorry. My mouth getting kind of dry. And the temp services work just like temp services work where you go to. You sign up on these platforms and you let them know you're available, and they start sending you assignments. Now, one thing I do want to suggest to you, a lot of people start out in their name. But like I said previously, if something go down legally, they might come after you in your name. So I strongly suggest that you get you a business name and you get you a business bank account, because you will have checks rolling in left and right. Some pay the same day, some pay the week of, some pay the week after, some pay every 15th of the month, every 30th every month. It's all kind of different terms because you're dealing with a lot of different companies. So it's in order for you to look professional, I strongly suggest you get a business established. LLC to me is the best type of business that you can get. If you go through the internet and you think of a name, you say, "Oh, I like this name." Type it into the Google search and see if anybody else has that name. If they don't have that name, or even if they do have that name and you really, really like it, try adding something else to it that would distinguish you from that name that already exists. So, for an example, say your name is Ink on the Go, and you find out somebody has that. You can say P Ink on the Go. So you just want to add a small character or characteristic to it that will distinguish you, and then you'll be able to create that business and what the name that you like. Choose something that is general. Do not choose anything that's too constrained, because if you ever decide to expand the notary business, most people when they think of it, all they think about is somebody with a stamp just stamping a document. But it's so vast. You can go to the jailhouse, you can go to the hospital, you can do the general public, you can just scan and print documents, you can stamp if you have to, you can notarize. I mean, it's so many things that you can do that I didn't even realize it until I got into it, that it's even possible. So when you create your business name, just as a side note, I would suggest, in my humble opinion, that you make it very vast so that if you took on a new type of business, you could still use that same name. Like, I don't know, Black Ink Industries, that's a vast name. I don't know. I do suggest I'm not an attorney, but just from things that I have been exposed to, I strongly suggest that you don't use your name. Because if you use your name, you're going to associate anything that happens to your personal self, even though it might be a business. So that's just some tips. And then get you a bank account. Get that bank account set up, because I promise you, that once you sign up on those platforms, you're going to start getting calls. And they will call you. And when you do that assignment and get it done and you did it right, they will send you checks. Some do direct deposits. Others will actually send you the check in the mail. So not only do I have a business account, I have a professional address that people can mail off to. So you want to look professional, because it's going to help your business grow and thrive. Um, and when they send you the assignments, you do not have to accept them if that's not what you want. If you think the pay is too low, there's been times I've turned down $100 because I didn't think the pay was high enough. So just know that if you'll get the proper training, you can also train through the loan systems by Mark Willis. Loan signing systems, I'm sorry. Mark Willis, he has a program you can enter into, and it will teach you how to fill out documents properly. Also, if you go on the internet or on YouTube, there are people on there that will go through full-fledged documents and how you can fill them out when you have appointments, things you don't know. They will go straight through it, and they will show you how to do everything. So that's a benefit just for you to know. And then after you do that, you have to get your equipment together, and I will do another video and discuss what type of equipment that you will need whenever you go out to do assignments. So I don't want to overload you, but that's basically how you get started, and that's how I got started. And so I hope somehow that this video has helped you and has motivated you. You can do this. You will thrive if you do it. You just got to get the right education and make sure you know what you're doing. Thank you so much for coming along with me on my mobile journey, and you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you on the next journey. Goodbye.